I have made so many videos and I have caught so fast up that I can actually try out one final thing, and I am amazed by this. I have been wanting to do this since my very first time at a convention. I didn't know what to do, but I collect a lot of cards when I'm at these conventions because I meet people, and we chat and we talk and we do stuff. So I thought I should show you the cards, and if you feel like it, just hit pause, just go, okay, there's the information. I'll just copy it off real fast right here, and that's kind of the goal here. Uh, and I've tried to separate people based on needs and stuff, and you'll see what I mean. So here we go. The first the first one is Closter. She is a 10-year-old girl who made her own character and design, and I thought that was so cool. I made a specific slide when I was talking about cosplay for her because she made an imaginary friend and dressed up like her. So that is really cool. And please, please, for the love of all that is good and kind, be kind to this little girl. Look at all the coolness she's doing, and I just don't want her to get in any trouble. But her dad runs her Instagram account, and she seems like a really cool person, and she's won all sorts of awards already. Hi, Amanda. Yep. Stan Sakai is a indie comic guy. He's actually one of the biggest names in indie comics. He makes the Usagi Yojimbo comic. It has been around since the 80s. He is huge. He's up there with Mike Mignola and stuff. And I saw him, and I totally tried to get his autograph, and I fully admit I wussed out. He was working with some other people, and I just didn't have the chance to get his autograph, and I really wanted it, but I just didn't. And that's part of life, I guess. But I did grab his card, and he has a nice Hokulani. What? He's from Hawaii? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just figured out he's from Hawaii. Oh man. Could have talked Hawaii with them. Oh, now I'm feeling all disappointed. But yeah, he is a really cool guy, and his art is some of my favorite. If ever I'm in a bad mood, some Usagi Yojimbo kind of makes it up better because it's nice and comical and enjoyable to read. So this is definitely something that I would promote, and I grabbed his card because it was the only thing I could do with that. That was the level of courage I had, was to grab his card. Anna Minks, she could have been in the slide. Oh, hi, Dixie. She could have been in the slide for, not Dixie, but Anna. She could have been in the slide for making money because she specifically cosplays as a way to promote herself as a model. And, she's a cosplayer in and of itself, but she does this professionally, and she is in it for money. And she does, she works really hard on looking good, and it's kind of ironic because it turns out she is a friend of a friend of a friend. I was in Bremerton, I stay in Bremerton, and apparently the guy I stay with knows her. One of those small world type things. So I took a couple pictures of her. She was very casual. She's done so many cosplays that she's very casual with her cosplay now. She'll continue wearing her clothes, even on the ferry and walking home and all of that stuff. So it's an interesting thing. So if you're into somebody who wants to make some money off of her cosplay, check her out. The Four Elements and Four Nations on this recording is by, I guess, a woman named Katrina Hoffner. And she is writing a book on the Avatar: The Last Airbender, as you can see on the card. And she's running a Kickstarter to promote her book and to get it published. That's just publishing cost right there. And she hasn't quite reached it just yet, but I hope she does. she's talking about the social and political differences and ideas within Avatar: The Last Airbender, and there is a ton of that kind of stuff in the show. So a book on it would be a good idea. So there we go. Dr. Nerdlove was a guy I met while I was just walking through the artist alley, and it's weird because some really cool people are in the artist alley. Like Stan Sakai just had a booth at Artist Alley, and I'm like, he's a huge name. So I didn't know, if I was talking to some guy who's been around for 40 years or, somebody who just started. It was a fascinating walk because they were all equal in the artist alley. And Dr. Nerdlove is obviously a guy who writes books about uh, dating advice for geeks. And he, that's his specialization, how to talk to people, how to have consent, how to do things. And that's kind of his deal. There's his website right there up on the upper left thing. So, if you're looking for some dating advice, you can check out his website and buy one of his books. Ashley Riot was really friendly. Met her at the Artist Alley, and I mentioned that I kind of want to do a comic book, and she said, well, it's called Sequential Art, and it's $120 a page because just that takes a lot of work. Each one of these little pictures costs maybe 10, $20, but you have to do multiple of those pictures to get an entire page within a comic strip. So she's like, listen, this costs a lot of money. So, or this costs a lot of time for me. So, I'm going to charge for that time. And, she has every right to it. I was very disappointed because I don't have $120 per page, but she was very friendly and she was really good about it. So, check out her Instagram account. She's a great artist, obviously, because I was asking her. I was impressed by it. So, there we go. She seems like a very friendly person. Apparently, she's Canadian. Cool. Robe of Bead. This was much easier to play than the other one, which is going to come up next. And if you look, there is a dinosaur with a tie on, about to be attacked by a robot. And obviously, this is a very friendly type thing. And the people who make this game, the one guy who makes the game, is just very casual about it. It's a 4-player game. It can be single player. It can be 4-player. So you're kind of teaming up to toss as many dinosaurs as you can into the trash. I've described this in previous videos, but he's got a Steam page, and he handed out stickers for you to remember him. I thought that was really cool. Dr. Nerdlove also handed out stickers. So I took that and made sure to add that to my collection. It's a fun game, so you should totally try it out. I guess he was part of the Portland Indie Game Squad, which is called the Pig Squad. Do not call them piggers. I got in trouble for that. And they used to have a giant cubed pig as their display, but apparently that just took up so much room to store that they got rid of it, which is really sad. And that was the conversation he was having with another game designer. Headliner is by a Polish game designer, and I couldn't get into the game just because it was a little too in depth, and I only had a little time to play, and it was a fun game. It was very, very well written, nice design. It's like $3-4, so it looks like a cool game. And I looked at their Twitter page, and it looks nice enough. So it's worth a try. Just don't think that you're going to be able to just sit down and play it. Get Your Geek On Radio. When we were setting up the arcade, these guys kind of walked in and said, "Hey, can we do a spot from here?" And apparently, one guy was from this radio show, and the girl was from this other thing, but I didn't get her card, so I can only show the guy. So there we go. That's why people have cards, so that you can show them on your YouTube or promote them somehow. And they arranged to have a little spot and interview from the arcade. and I had nothing to do with it. I tried talking to them, but honestly, I was busy doing other stuff. We were setting up, and I was testing games out to make sure they were working. And I had the high score on Doctor Who, so I was like, no, I'm not turning around. You can tell where my priorities are. Finally, or not finally, but when you go to these shows, you pick up passes you don't expect. Like the ferry was delayed for 2, 3 hours, and I went to a restaurant, and it was called the Sweet and Smoky Diner, and it's an excellent, excellent place, good food, and apparently, if you get all of those cards punched or crossed off, you get 1/2 off, and that's a good enough deal. I should use it the next time I'm in Bremerton. And the food was good, and we were able to have a nice, entertaining conversation while there. So, if you're ever in Bremerton, you should kind of go there as a way to start your day walking around. Truly, finally, when you go to places like Bremerton to Seattle, you have to buy a lot of tickets. Like, there's my parking pass, and then there's my pass to get onto the ferry from Seattle. And I just realized I could use it. I could buy all 4 passes, or 4 or 5 passes that I'm going to use in a single day, and just use them. Okay, this one's done. Okay, this one's done. Okay, this one's done. And it could work that way. And I never thought about it until now. So that's pretty cool. Uh, and you just collect these, and this is in my bucket. It was a very low card time because I never thought I would have a chance to kind of talk about these cards, so I stopped taking as many cards, and now I can. So if you saw anything that would interest you, go and check it out, and I will catch you all later. Emerald City Comic Con is finished as far as videos go. Look forward to talks about setting up for the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show. Not just setting up, but planning it out. Next week, I'm going up to a planning meeting, and I'm going to go to one every month, and I'm going to go check stuff out as well, but also expect regular lectures on video game culture. Next week will be on sticks as things. That sounds weird, but once I explain it and how it applies within video game culture and politics and stuff like that, you'll understand why it needs an entire week to explain it. All right, catch y'all later. Bye now.